Okay, morning guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the in-ear monitoring system that I use when I'm performing as a live drummer. So that's going to include the earphones that I use. We've got a couple of options to talk about. We'll also look at the mixing desk or sometimes the belt pack that I use, and most importantly how it's all wired together. So how we take a feed from the engineer's desk with my monitor mix and how I can integrate it with a metronome or click if necessary, and furthermore how I can also play along with backing tracks and keep in sync with those. So we'll look at how it's all wired together and how it performs on a general live gig. So before we start, please like the video if you like what you see, and consider subscribing to the channel to get notified of more content concerning my journey as a professional musician and music teacher. First things first, here is a little Behringer mixer. What I actually do is my monitor mix, which is the auxiliary send from the desk, with my general monitor mix, that comes into here through an XLR, and then I can mix that into the general level there. But then what's interesting is I've got a couple of other inputs going on here. So if I need to play along to a metronome, which I often do for songs, just so the tempo is solid and steady, I'll put my metronome through into this input here. And what I use is this, which is a Tama Rhythmwatch. So I come out of the line output here, and that goes into here. And then any click that I send, only I hear, the rest of the band won't hear it. And this is the level for that. And then furthermore, sometimes what I need to do is play along with backing tracks. Now, as I play along with backing tracks, obviously I need to be able to keep in time with these. So the way we do this, and the way it's quite standard, is you'll record a backing track and you'll have the left side will be the click portion of the track and the right side will be the backing track. So it's a stereo file. The right hand channel goes to the main mixing desk and the left hand channel comes in here. So that means that I get to hear the click. The backing track goes to the front of house, and again I can alter the level that I hear in my earphones using this. And then obviously the main mix and the earphone level is here, and the headphones come out of there. Now, a gig I did last night, for example, we didn't use a metronome. So actually all I did was have my front of house mix, sorry, my monitor mix coming in here. So this is where I could have used this belt pack. Again, it's a wired one, it's not wireless. This is a Behringer belt pack. So actually you just put the input into there and then plug your headphones into there. It's a Behringer P1. It's quite good. It's quite big and heavy actually. As a drummer, I don't often use it. I sometimes use it if I'm playing bass or guitar on a gig, but again, because it's wired, it doesn't give you that much freedom. So we'll set that to one side, because drumming, I normally would use this. Okay, so then in terms of the earphones that I use, well, we've got a couple of options. Now, I started off a few years ago using these, which are some Shure SE215s. So they're generic, they're not custom molded, but they're okay, and it allowed me to get a feel a few years ago of how in-ear monitoring actually worked and how it all felt. But after a while, I found that I actually needed something better. So from a company called ACS, I got these custom molds done. And these are perfectly molded using a wax molding process actually to my ears. Now, I think these were, I don't know, £400 maybe, so quite expensive, and these are only some basic ones. You can get ones with multiple drivers. I think these might have 2 drivers in them, in all honesty, I can't remember. But anyway, they actually sound fine, to be quite honest with you. You can spend, 4 figures on these things if you want. Got my initials on as well. There you go. And what these do, these offer a real good seal in terms of isolation from the surrounding noise. So all you really basically hear is you plug it into this headphones output, you use that adapter, I use this extender, goes into these, goes into my ears, happy days. So, and I can basically then tweak my own monitor mix and mix it with any click from a backing track or any metronome that I'm actually using. So I'll put a few photos in from the gig last night where you can just see us plugged into this one. Ultimately, it is actually a bit of a game changer, to be honest with you, in terms of what you can actually hear. And it's actually quite simple. when you actually realise. Obviously you can get wireless belt packs. I haven't got one of those. I think if I was doing more guitar or bass guitar gigs, then I probably would get one, but most of my work at the moment is on drums, so I actually don't really need it. So I think that's just a brief overview. Now, in terms of what I hear on my own monitor mix, what I generally do is we use these days, most of the bands I'm in use desks where you can actually connect to it with an iPad, and then I can actually alter what I hear. And in my mix, I tend to have quite a lot of bass drum, a bit of overhead or snare drum, and then a general mix of the rest of the band with my vocal, because I often do backing vocals on top. But it's really good, and it also means you can protect your own hearing, because obviously live music is quite loud. And using these, where you get a really good seal, it means that you can have it actually nice and quiet. Also, you can hear what the drums are sounding like through the mics as well on stage, so it just gives you some confidence that everything is sounding as it should. Okay, so I think that about does it. Just a quick one today. So we've seen how I wire my monitors into my desk. We've seen how I take a feed from the desk and how I can play along with a click or backing tracks should that be necessary. As I said, I'll drop in a couple of photos so you can see how it's all wired together. Also on this iPad shot, you can see how I would control my own mix. That's what's coming in from the actual main PA desk, and a couple of shots of it live in situ. Ultimately, on this particular gig, I didn't use a metronome and didn't use a click, but of course the facility is there. So I think that about does it. Thanks ever so much for watching today. Please like the video and subscribe if you like what you see. It'd be great to have you along for further adventures. So cheers for now. Thank you. Bye.